and his impact on hymns. I don't go through all of them. He may or may not have penned 56. I say that because a lot of the tunes could have been taken from other people. Even it is disputed that he wrote Ein feste Burg, a mighty fortress, because there were so many different versions and authors that went into that one song. I don't really care, but some people really get excited about that. But I should prime the pump for next year. We're going to go into the wilderness in advance of Lent, and as we walk through the book of Numbers. And in our Bible studies before church at 9 o'clock, not 8, we will be going through the Ref Talks, and these are 10-minute videos that talk about some of the basics of the Christian faith, and then we'll get to discuss them in a small group setting. It is a lot of fun. I have been thoroughly impressed with the attendance and the participation. I really enjoy them. And it is a different dynamic completely from this, which isn't bad. I like this too. But it's just a little bit different. All right. What is your famous Christmas carol? Luther once said, next to theology, there is no art equal to music, for it is the only one except theology, which is an art too, which can give a quiet and happy mind. Do you have a famous or favorite Christmas carol? Do you know, I asked this question for Marjorie partially because she would play piano for a number of years, and Where Shepherds Lately Knelt? Yeah. And so the Sunday after Christmas, I didn't this year. I think, did we sing it? No, we did. Today? Oh, okay, yeah. But we did sneak it in at some point? Okay, well. Yeah. Right. And we talked about in our Bible study how it's easier to preach to your audience. It's easier to write worship services when you have an audience, too. And if I know that one of you really loves that, and we talked about psalms because we talked about antiphons, and so we might bring back a psalm just to sing it antiphonally. That is a call and response. Because some of you, I don't know, we'll try it. And it is, in my opinion, easier to sing with a live musician than it is computer music, which is good. That's okay. But Nate did a great job today, so yeah. It's good to have him home for a couple weeks from college. So we enjoy that. So if any of you has a favorite hymn, tell me and I'll try to work it in. I know that some of you may or may not feel passionate about it. Tell them. Stille Nacht. You know, my children had to sing that in German, Luke, didn't you? Yeah, but didn't you sing it up north? Oh, okay. My mother-in-law forced my children to sing Stille Nacht. They sing it willingly, although Luke tried. None of them have had German, so it's okay. We might bust that out. How many of you even know Stille Nacht? Some of you? Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, alles schläft einfach. I had to sing it too. That was the 7th grade rite of passage. You had to learn how to sing Silent Night in German, a nod to our heritage. Anything else on Christmas carols that are your favorites? Otherwise, I'll just look at 2 today from Luther. Which Luther hymn is a Christmas pageant? It's somewhat trivia, but it's more of a model in home devotion, frankly. This is why it made the Bible study this morning. Martin Luther liked to celebrate Christmas with the freshness and spontaneity of a child. He composed the Christmas hymn, From Heaven Above to Earth I Come, to be enacted. I didn't warn Nate. We're going to sing this verse. Sorry. You got one slide to look it up. Is that possible? From Heaven Above to Earth I Come. I don't know what number it is. You're on that. Okay, good. To be enacted as a family Christmas pageant. Published in 1535, it may have been written for the previous Christmas when his son Hans was 8 and his daughter Lanken was 5. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, frankly, but that's my best stab. Near the Christmas tree stood a cradle, most likely Luther himself, with his fine tenor voice, took the part of the angel and sang stanzas 1 and 2, where the angel announced, "You're just going to get verse 1 from us." Nate, how are we doing? That's all you get. There's no verse 2. Sorry. Well, I don't think I have verse 2. Nope, I don't. Yeah, there's no verse 2. But what I'm going to do, I don't know if our synod produced it in the Forward in Christ, but there is a PDF of this. Like they laid out that hymn to do a home Christmas pageant. And it's got 5 parts. Guess how many kids I have? They're not even, look at this, not even the horror in them right now. Because they know I might try it. What is the importance of teaching children? I don't think Luther is off, and I think song is a powerful way to do it. For adults too, but Matthew 19 says this, I hope.
To me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these.
Let no one think he is too wise and disdain such child's play. When Christ wished to teach men, he became a man. If we wish to teach children, we must become children. Would to God we had more of this child's play. We should then see in short time a great treasure of Christian people, souls rich in the Scriptures and in the knowledge of God. And in Bible class before church, we talked about how we're only one generation away from losing the gospel. So Sunday school and confirmation are supremely important in the life of a church, in a church body, and in Christendom, frankly. And that's one of the things he did so well. And it is never a waste of time to spend time with your kids, of course. What does God think about music? You just heard this, of course, in the sermon.
Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom, and as you sing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs with gratitude in your hearts to God.
He likes it. Yeah, he sanctioned it. He created musical groups in the Old Testament worship. You go all the way back to Genesis, and very early on, Jubal and Tubal-Cain. If you go into like Genesis, I don't know, what is that, 5? Where civilization starts, we get music almost immediately. It's a big deal to our God. An adversary once accused Luther of leading more people astray through his hymns than through his sermons, which I would say is probably accurate. Because a tune just carries with it. And that's why how much trash is there that people listen to just because the beat's good. And contemporary worship does a great job. A lot of those melodies are awesome. We've done a good job. And in our own church body, there is an annual hymn contest. I don't know if you knew this. I have not done a good job of publicizing it. But why not? Luther didn't have a monopoly on musical talent. And I know some of you are extremely gifted. So if you could do that, why not? I'll try to remember to make it. I think around May it usually comes out. I think it's like $100 or something. And just to encourage that among our people. To keep writing hymns. Can you name Luther's autobiographical hymn? This is the second hymn that we will look at this morning. You have sung it, I know that. Nate, sorry, no warning again. Dear Christians, one and all rejoice. What do you think? We're actually going to get 2 verses. This is neat because it talks about how he goes into the depths, I don't know about hell, but depression. When he was a monk, if you know his story at all. He tried to satisfy God, and he couldn't. You cannot satisfy God on your own. It doesn't work. Only Jesus does that. And then the response that he has of Jesus, it's as if God tells Jesus to go out and help this poor sap. And that's what this hymn is about. And they say the first time you write a novel, it's autobiographical. I think a lot of Luther's life spills over into his work. So, is there hope? Please say, well, any questions? It's technically a Bible class. You can ask anything. Please say this closing prayer with me. Ah, dearest Jesus, holy child, prepare a bed soft, undefiled, within my heart made clean and new, a quiet chamber kept for you. Amen. Oh, I was wrong. I added a second verse from that hymn. I won. You're gonna. He's ready for the post service, right? Oh, you were? Well, then we should probably sing it if Nate was going to. A nod to Marjorie one last time. Here is.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's okay, we still love you.
Sorry, I thought that could be sung to Where Shepherds Lately Know.
Oh, no. That was good. You're okay.
Never mind, sorry.
You're okay.
Maybe next time.
There are, a poinsettia, right? Please do. If you signed up for poinsettia, and even if you didn't, there's still, I think there's 5 or 6 that are not accounted for from the sign-up sheet. So it was 2 for $3. So if you signed up, many of you signed up for 4, which is cool. So get up whatever you want. As I walk out, you don't even need to shake my hand. You get your